People call my philosophy gloomy. They think we existentialists are obsessed with misery. I want to tell you something. We are the most optimistic philosophers alive. You have simply not understood us yet. Think of a paper knife. Before it was made, someone had an idea, a plan, a purpose. The knife's essence, what it is for, existed before the knife itself. That is how objects work. Now, were you designed before you were born? Is there a God in some atelier who said, I shall now manufacture a human, model number such and such? Purpose, accountant, Catholic, patriot. No, you arrived first, screaming, without a manual. Your existence came before your essence, before any definition of what you are. That is the whole of existentialism in one sentence. Existence precedes essence. Now, some of you are thinking, fine, no instructions, but God gives us the instructions. He is the ultimate designer. God creates man with a purpose, with a nature, with moral rules, written somewhere in the sky. I am not here to argue whether God exists. I will only say this: if he does not exist, and this is my position, then there is no heavenly blueprint for man. Dostoevsky wrote, if God does not exist, everything is permitted. People quote this as a warning. I quote it as a starting point. Without God, there is no pre-written human nature, no fixed values handed down from above. Man is, and this is crucial, man is condemned to be free. Condemned because he did not ask for this freedom. He did not choose to be born. And yet the moment he exists, he is entirely responsible for everything he does. He has no excuse, no destiny, no predetermined path. Just choose. Here is what makes freedom terrifying. When I choose, I do not only choose for myself. When I decide to get married, to join a political party, to stay with my mother or go to war, I am creating an image of what I believe man ought to be. I am saying this is the right thing for a human to do. A student came to me during the war. His father was a collaborator. His brother had been killed by the Germans. His mother had only him. He had to choose, stay and care for her, or leave for England and join the resistance. Which is more moral? I had no answer. No ethical system could give him one. Kant could not. Christianity could not. I told him only this: you are free. Therefore, choose. Invent your answer. This is anguish, not despair, anguish. The anguish of a military commander who sends men to die and knows that he alone chose it. It does not paralyze action. It is the condition of action. Every serious person knows this anguish. Those who don't, they are simply lying to themselves. How many of you have said or heard someone say, I never had the opportunity. My circumstances were against me. Deep down, I am so much more than my life has shown. I understand the comfort of that thought. I am here to destroy it. There is no love apart from loving. There is no genius apart from the work of genius. The genius of Proust is the total of the books Proust wrote. Nothing more. You cannot point at some invisible potential inside yourself that excuses your inaction. A coward is not a coward because of bad blood or weak lungs. A coward is a coward because of what he did or did not do. This is terrifying, yes, but it is also liberating, because it means the coward can choose tomorrow to stop being a coward. The hero can stop being a hero. Nothing is fixed. You are not a thing. You are a project, always in motion, always being made. You are nothing else but the sum of your actions. People say, Sartre is bleak. Sartre says life has no meaning. Sartre is a man of despair. I reject this entirely. What is the alternative they offer? That a God or a nature has already decided what you are, that your destiny is written before you live it? I find that far more bleak than anything I have said. Existentialism says there is no legislator but yourself. No sign will come from the sky. No book will tell you exactly what to do in your specific situation on this specific afternoon with this specific choice in front of you. You must invent, you must commit, and in committing, you make yourself, and in making yourself, you make a version of humanity. Life has no meaning a priori. It is empty until you live it. But that emptiness is not a curse. It is an invitation. The value of your life is nothing else but the sense you choose to give it. That is not pessimism. That is the highest compliment ever paid to a human being.